Hello everyone, welcome to the new series here on Cluiche, Social Media Reacts, and this is episode number 1. What this series is going to be is it's going to be all about keeping our finger on the pulse of what the GA community make of all the weekend's action and the weekend's talking points. And this is a pretty good weekend to kick it off. The All-Ireland Club Finals happened over the weekend and the LGFA League Division 1 to 3 kicked off as well over the weekend. So plenty of talking points. And what we're going to do is we're going to dive in part by part, starting with the LGFA leagues and moving on to the All-Ireland Club Finals as well. So if anything significant really happens, if there's any major talking points, major discussion points, what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight certain tweets around it. And basically this will help illustrate how everybody's feeling. This will also be quite a fun series to do sometimes. There'll be some funny moments. I mean, the dog on the pitch during the Crossmaglen v Trillick game, like that would have been a funny one to do it had I been doing this at the time. But there will be some funny moments out here ahead of us as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go part by part, and starting, as I said, with the LGFA leagues. Now, there's no doubt that when the fixtures were announced, there was one fixture that everybody had their eye on immediately to kick off the little LGFA League Division 1 for 2024. That was the repeat of the All-Ireland football final last year between Dublin and Kerry. Now, Kerry were going away to Dublin's backyard. They were going to Parnell Park, a place where they'd actually beaten Dublin last year in the championship. Now, that game, they had the likes of Louise Nevera-Hertig, they had Sheafra O'Shea. A lot of people were thinking, are they going to be able to go there and beat Dublin again? And they did. But what I'm going to highlight here is the incredible thing that the Dublin team did before the game actually threw in. So when our Naveen was being played in Parnell Park, the Dublin team stood arm in arm and held up this banner. So this banner, Sus Cugus of Palestine, what that means is ceasefire in Palestine. So they're calling for a ceasefire, of course, in the brutal scenes going over in Palestine right now. What is happening over there is truly awful, and they were calling for a Sus Cugus of Palestine, a ceasefire in Palestine. And what I'm going to do at this part is I'm going to read the official statement that they put up. So that the official statement that came from the Dublin team. So I'm reading this off of the Her Sport Instagram page. Massive shout out to them. If you don't follow Her Sport, 100% do. They're a fantastic Instagram page. So basically, what the statement says is, we members of the Dublin Senior Ladies Football Team and management feel strongly about taking a stand on the issue of an immediate ceasefire in Palestine. As we have watched events unfold in the region on our screens every day for the past 106 days, we have been greatly disturbed and saddened. Almost 25,000 lives have been lost, 70% of whom are women, children, and young adolescents, while more than 20,000 babies have been born into a living hell. A staggering 85% of the population has now been displaced, while all the hospitals have been destroyed in Gaza. We are privileged to represent this great city of Dublin. However, with that great privilege comes a great responsibility to do the right thing. We want our voices to be heard, so we are taking this opportunity to plead with the key influencers and decision makers. Please do all in your power to help bring a ceasefire and end to hostilities in the Gaza region. Níneart go Curla Kayla. I mean, hats off to them. Absolutely outstanding use of the platform that they have. Great job. Honestly, just great job. The game itself as well. So another thing that was lovely to see before the game actually happened was the Kerry team gave the Dublin team a guard of honour. So Dublin, this tweet is from Dublin LGFA. A lovely gesture by at Kerry's Ladies Football this evening to welcome Dublin as All-Ireland champions out onto the pitch with a guard of honour. A class act that was very much appreciated by all in Dublin LGFA. Congrats on the win tonight. We look forward to seeing you later on in the, I'm going to guess that season or year or everything like that. But I was too stupid to hit show more there, so I didn't actually see, but I'm going to assume that means later on in the year. But yeah, that was lovely to see as well. Kerry showing respect to Dublin for winning the All-Ireland final last year. And yeah, like just incredible scenes. Both teams, hats off to them for how they conducted themselves before the game threw in. Now, when the game threw in, there was a familiar face back for Dublin. Owen Carey, she was back in. She hasn't been around now for a couple of years, but she was back in the team. 2019 All-Star, 3-time All-Ireland winner. Great to see the Thomas Davis woman back in the Dublin colours. But that was where the good news ended for Dublin, of course. Kerry won quite comfortably on the night and were by far the better team. Of course, the LGFA round 1 in the league recap is on the channel as well, so make sure you check that out as well. There's been some cracking games already, particularly the Mayo Meath game in the Connacht GAA Airdome. Now, switching over to the All-Ireland Club Finals, which took place over the weekend. There's so many talking points from these games as well. I'm going to start it off with Marty Morrissey's tweet about the Glen winning, or Waddy Graham's Glen winning the All-Ireland Club Football Championship. Absolutely incredible achievement. So Marty says here, he says, wonderful day for the Waddy Graham's Glen Mahara, who won the All-Ireland Club title after a display of real character. Heartbreak for St. Bridget's, but it's celebration time for a great club with fabulous people. Congratulations, Waddy Graham's. And I mean, well put, Marty, because the honest truth is it was a victory of pure character. It was a victory where Waddy Graham's Glen were on the back foot. They were on the ropes, and it looked like it just wasn't their day. When Kieran McFall gets through and balloons a shot wide off his left foot, they had some really bad wides other than that as well. But when they needed their leaders, I mean, Michael Warnock stood up, hit an inspirational point to bring it back to 3, and then it became the Conor Glass show. And let's dive in with this. This tweet here from Conan Doherty, absolutely outstanding journalist. Really, really like this guy. Follow him if you don't. Conan Doherty says, I remember watching an under-15 Conor Glass win man of the match up in St. Paul's, Belfast in the Ulster Minor Club final. It wasn't that he was athletic enough for his age. It was just that he was so good at football. Felt like he was made for a performance like that one day, but my God. I mean, that is the truth. It's one of the best performances I've ever seen in an All-Ireland final. He just dragged his team, kicking and screaming, back into the contest. As Joe Brolly says here, a very good player just became a great one. An epic goal at the all or nothing moment, a magnificent performance when his team needed him most. Conor Glass has arrived. I mean, he has a way with words, Joe, but that is a perfect way to put it. I mean, a guy who's been an exceptional player just put himself to the next level there by leading his team through the fire in an All-Ireland final to victory. Outstanding achievement. You think about his goal, you think about the catches that he made. I'm sure you've seen the photo doing the rounds where he's pretty much on top of 2 blokes while he's catching it. Just insane ability, insane leader, born leader, no doubt about it. And my good friend Matthew Hurley highlighted on his Instagram, Gaelic Statsman. Go give this Instagram account a follow if you don't. Absolutely one of the best in the game. He highlights here all of the stuff that Conor Glass has achieved since he returned from the AFL. And like, not just even with Derry, but like with Waddy Graham's Glen as well now. So he's come back for Derry. They've won back-to-back Ulster championships. They've won the All-Ireland Club Championship, as well as back-to-back Ulster Club Championships and 3 Derry Championships in a row. Conor Glass coming back has just turned Waddy Graham's Glen around and also turned Derry GAA around. He's a once-in-a-generation player, and that performance in the final was out of this world. But one also thing that is a key thing to notice on Twitter as well is just how many people are really feeling for Bridget's, and you can't help but feel for Bridget's as well when you watch that game. They were outstanding right up until the last few minutes. I have 2 pretty much identical tweets here from 2 people who tweeted in the feed. One from Dermot here says, got to feel for St. Bridget's. Better team for 55 minutes, but fantastic spirit from Glenn to dig it out at the end. Conor Glass dragged them over the line. And Tyg Rowan says, I got to feel for St. Bridget's. Better team for 55 minutes, but fantastic spirit from Glenn to dig it out at the end. 2 fantastic games today. All 4 clubs a credit. And I mean, like, they're absolutely right. All 4 clubs there in such difficult conditions played absolutely fantastic and put on a spectacle for the fans as well. It was really hard conditions. The wind in the stadium, I cannot stress this enough from being there for both the games. The wind was whipping around the stadium. The flags up behind the goal were changing direction every 10 seconds. But yeah, outstanding performance by Bridget's as well. And they were so unlucky. That last free goes just wide. I mean, heartbreaking stuff. But Glenn, as I said, had been good for 2 years to win 1 All-Ireland. That's how hard the club championship is. But the club championship doesn't seem to be too hard for the Ulster clubs anyway. When you look at this tweet from John McMahon, the J-Mac podcast, absolutely fantastic podcast. Go give it a follow if you don't already. J-Mac highlights here the 3 Ulster clubs that have won across all 3 levels. Of course, you have Waddy Graham's Glen there on the right, winning the senior championship. You have St. Patrick's Culliana from Armagh winning the intermediate there in the middle. And you have, of course, Arva from Cavan on the left there, winning the junior. Absolutely sensational achievement there for the Ulster GAA clubs. Kieran Brady in that final was absolutely tremendous as well. I haven't really said it yet, but absolutely outstanding performance from him. And that photo of the St. Patrick's man lifting the cup there with his dad behind him is one of the best shots of the year as well. Now, that football final, we have to just say massive congratulations to Waddy Graham's Glen, to Malachy O'Rourke, to Conor Glass, to anybody who has been involved in that Glen journey from not just this year, but from last year and the year before as well. It all culminated in an amazing last 5-minute push by Glen to get over the line. Now, that wasn't the only final on the weekend. The All-Ireland Club Hurling final was on over the weekend as well. That took place at 1:30 on the Sunday. Another cracking, really thrilling game, and summed up well by Kieran Donaghy here. What a score to win it. David Burke, man of the match, coming back from the bad injury. Heroic second half by the Galway GAA men. Conor Cooney deadly all day. What a match. Well put, Kieran. Definitely a fantastic game. No question about it. And that winner from Aina Burke was absolutely out of this world. You've definitely seen it off his left. In the dying minutes of the game, Mark Bergen gets a chance to equalise, but it was from a huge distance out. The free goes wide. Game over. Thomas's win by a hair's breadth. And it's well put here by the former GAA president, Sean Kelly. I had slight preference for O'Loughlin Gales, but Burke inspired St. Thomas GAA to pull through in a brilliant game in appalling conditions. Aina Burke's winning point out of this world, and David man of the match deservedly. But the goal that was, but wasn't, a huge blow to the Kilkenny CLG lads. And that is going to be the next thing that we move on to. Everybody's seen it. Everybody's seen the image. And this highlighted here by my good friend Aaron Prendergast, GAA Gaelic Games Fan TV. If you don't follow him already, go give him a follow. He's one of the best in the business. This here is his tweet. He says, looks over from that angle. O'Loughlin Gales can feel very hard done by if they don't go on to win this. Might be another replay saga on the way. I mean, the GA wouldn't have been exactly thrilled when that happened. And myself and Matthew Hurley, the Gaelic Statsman, had a look at this on our weekend review yesterday. If you haven't seen that episode, go check it out. It was a really good episode. But we highlighted this. And we were saying the umpire on the left definitely can't see it because Fintan Burke's legs are in the way. But the umpire on the right actually might be able to have a look there and potentially see that ball, which definitely drags it into contentious territory. Now, again, let me know, because it definitely is over the line. Like, there's no disputing about that. You can see from the angle. But I was saying one of my things I would do is simply just put it like this. A 30-second version of VAR from the Premier League. Try and work it that way. Look, maybe that's a stupid idea, but it only takes 10 seconds to look at that to see that ball has crossed the line. You think of other famous incidents, Joe Sheridan throwing the ball into the net against Louth in 2010. If an umpire or if a VAR referee had 10 seconds to just look at the replay, Louth would be Leinster champions in 2010. And if anybody's watching this thinking, oh, well, how would that work? A perfect example is Shane Walsh's point against Derry in 2022 in the All-Ireland football semi-final. Shane Walsh kicks a free. It goes over the bar. Hawkeye says it was wide. The replays that they caught clearly showed that ball had gone over the bar. The minute that they came back out for the second half, they showed the replay of Walsh's shot and then signaled that they were giving the point. Now, not one person came out after and said they shouldn't have given that point. They were all showing the replay. They knew the rules. They knew that point had to stand, and it did. That's the best way to do it. Nobody in Meath would have complained if Joe Sheridan's goal had been disallowed after having a look at a replay, and nobody in Thomas's really would have complained if they had a look at that replay, seen the ball was over the line, and given the goal. So that's just a potential solution for the future, but let me know what you made of it anyway. Now, other instances that happened in that game, Thomas's could feel hard done by here. So my good friend Aaron, again, he says with this tweet, the officiating in this game has been very poor so far. The goal miss in the first half as well as 2 debatable red cards. If this is a red card, then the 2 incidents in the first half have to be as well. No consistency. And then underneath is Matthew's tweet, the Gaelic Statsman. He says, was this a red for James Regan? Again, a lot of conflicted people. Some people saying it was definitely a red card. Some people saying no way. Again, it's hard when it's not consistent across the board. Some refs would give that and some refs wouldn't. But that's why Thomas's would feel hard done by there. Let me know what you think. Was that a red card? Was it not? And then the final thing that I'm going to finish up on, I'm going to finish up on a bit of a funny note. One of O'Loughlin Gales' best hurlers, and indeed one of the best hurlers in Kilkenny, was playing in the All-Ireland Club Hurling Final wearing Limerick shorts. Mikey Butler there, photographed there, and it's on Smaller Fish GA's Twitter page. Colin Parkinson is behind that page. Absolute massive shout out to Colin, one of the best around as well. Mikey Butler wearing Limerick shorts yesterday, he says. And then, of course, the Limerick crest is on his shorts. It matches up pretty well with the O'Loughlin Gales jersey, but I just wonder, did Mikey know he was wearing them, or did he get to the pitch and just he decided to roll with it anyway? It's a funny one. Maybe he got those shorts down at the O'Neill sale or something like that. Maybe they're a lucky pair of shorts. But a funny little detail to add in there for the social media reacts episode 1 before we wrap it up. So that's it for social media reacts episode 1, guys. It's been a good episode to kick it off. The All-Ireland Club Finals, and then of course the LGFA kicking off with their league for 2024 as well over this weekend. So I really enjoyed this episode. I'm going to look forward to the other episodes to come as well. This will be every week, guys, so make sure that you stick around for next week's one as well and get your opinions in the comments below as well. Let me know what you make of these stories. And until the next one, guys, here on Cluiche, take care.